it's important, to let business people contribute directly and give them expressive, productive tools to do so. So let's introduce a tool called language workbenches, or a class of tool called language workbenches. So they help with the arrow, right? They help building tools that let the domain expert express themselves in a way that can directly contribute to the system. And of course, the idea is kind of old, right? You build a nice domain-specific language, and then you have a generator that generates your software. Or if you don't want to generate, then run an interpreter, but it's basically the same idea. So this has been done in principle in the 70s, right? The term language workbench has been introduced by Martin Fowler in 2004, but he really gave a name to a category of tools that has existed more or less before. Of course, today's tools are better, but the idea is old. But a few things have changed. And so when we use the term language workbench, it is a little bit more than this old DSL kind of story. And again, I'm quoting this definition from Martin Fowler. He says, a language workbench is a tool that lets you freely define languages and integrate them. He then has a bunch of additional details that he listed. I'm going to forget about them right now because they're not very important for the story. But this idea of defining arbitrary languages and then using them together kind of in an ecosystem of composed languages is a powerful idea. I'd like to add to his definition this notion that you should be able to have not just editing facilities, but also testing, refactoring, debugging, teamwork, the usual stuff we know from IDEs, right? But we want this for any language, and in particular for any notation, and I'll get back to that in a moment. So language workbenches are tools that make language development easier, right? It's like an IDE, but you don't write code,